Hello, everyone.
Welcome back, everyone.
I thought today would be an interesting topic,
Mm-hmm.
and it's something I feel like a lot of Asian people can relate to,
Yeah.
and that is what jobs their parents wanted them to have and what you kind of ended up doing. So, did it follow the generic like Asian path, or did you like deter from it
That's
dramatically?
true.
And I thought it'd be really interesting because Sophia and I are complete polar opposites on what we do. So I thought it'd be very interesting to kind of just talk about what we do now, but also how we found our interest in what we wanted to do.
Yeah, that's true. Because even though we're both Asian, we have completely different jobs right now.
Yeah. Um.
Do you
So
want to talk
yeah.
about your job first?
Okay. Well, technically, I don't have a job because pandemic.
Oh my
But I
god.
can talk about like what I do, just like in my programs and stuff because I feel like they're kind of relatable.
Yeah.
So obviously we have the generic Asian dreams of, doctor, lawyer, dentist. Like that is the generic things that Asian parents want you to do because it has the highest like money income value, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because we know that obviously doctors and lawyers and dentists like make a lot more money, but that's because you put in so much time and effort going into law school or med school.
Yeah.
But it's like the thing is you're highly praised because you're like smart if you're a doctor. Um, you have job stability,
Mm-hmm.
right? Because usually if you become like a doctor somewhere, you don't like just yeet after like a year. Like you kind of have more stability.
Yeah.
Um, and right now because we can kind of feel it now because of the pandemic, but financial stability is also really important, which is kind of set if you have a general good income with
Mm-hmm.
being a doctor, a dentist, or a lawyer.
Yeah, that's true.
So initially, when I, because mom initially was like, "Oh, Sally, like, do you want to be a doctor or whatever?" And I was like, "No, not really. I like doctors are amazing. Like I don't know how they fit so much knowledge in their brains,
That's
but
true. I don't
I
know how
I
they can
know for
remember
sure.
everything.
Yeah, I could not. Like I can barely remember what I had for breakfast the day before,
Oh my
let
god.
alone remember someone's like diagnosis or like remember how to even diagnose them with all their symptoms put together. Like I don't think I could do it. And then I was like, "Ew, mom, no, not really. Like it's kind of like not my thing." And I think because of all the electives I chose in high school, because remember in high school I took like woodworking,
Mm-hmm.
I took home ec, I took sewing, like using like sewing machines to make stuff.
Yeah.
I think mom noticed I have like good hand dexterity. Like I have good I can do fine movements with my hands,
Mm-hmm.
which is required when you woodwork and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So that's when she was like, "Does dentistry like interest you in any way?" And the one main reason that I didn't want to go into dentistry was I had to touch people's mouths.
Ooh.
Like just the feeling, like I know you wear gloves and stuff, but the in touching your cheeks and your like people's tongue, I can't. Like it's just too disgusting. And what if cause like if you're a doctor, you don't only see the good things.
Yeah.
You have to treat people. So that means you're going to get people who don't have the best conditions. And I don't want to touch that.
Ew,
Like, it's
Sally.
just not something that interests me. So I was like, you know what? I can like see how I would fit being a dentist, but I can't move past the fact that I have to touch people's mouths.
Mm-hmm.
And I just couldn't get over the fact. I was like, no, I can't do it. Like, I love doing stuff with my hands. Like, I love, that's why I think I like science because I love lab work. Like, I
Yeah.
love doing stuff and doing experiments, but I don't want to deal with people. So I don't think doctor or dentist or any of those like fields would have been right for me, even if I pursued it.
Any job or jobs that deal with people are difficult in general, and most jobs deal with people. which is why I think
Yeah.
unless you're really passionate about your job and you really like your job, it's really difficult to stay in one job for a long time.
Yeah, and especially if you're going to dentistry, law, or medicine, you're putting in so much time to even get to the point where you could
Yeah,
like get experience, right? Because you
that's
have to
true.
go. Usually in med school, they don't usually pick people who don't have like a bachelor's degree, right? They want you to
Mm-hmm.
have some sort of like basic education before you go into med school. And you have the 4 years of med school, and then you have to go into like residency and all that like stuff,
Mm-hmm.
which is like an additional what, like 6 7 years.
Yeah.
Like you've basically given up your whole 20s up to that point,
Yeah.
right? So like I don't think I could even do it because of the time dedication. Like it's so long. Like unless you're really really passionate about medicine, like it would have been a really big grind, which I
That's
don't
true.
think I could have done.
I feel like I had it easier than you because I feel like in a way that mom kind of semi gave up on me. So
She didn't have high
she
expectations.
didn't have expectations for me, and she did. But then I think as I was like getting older and she saw how I was and how my personality was, she realized like, oh, like this girl's not gonna listen to me at all. Like
She's not gonna listen to me.
yeah, so I think mom pretty much gave up on me on that point. So I didn't have the pressure to find a job like to have a job like mom would say like you have to be this, you have to be that. She let me go pretty much like solo wise in that point.
Yeah.
And so if Sally's good at science and chemistry and things like that, I'm more of a fast learner when it comes to learning languages. So
Yeah, I'm not a big language learner, like history or whatever. I can't.
yeah, so I can pick up on languages faster than Sally can.
Mhm.
And which is why I kind of went into hospitality was it was a major or like a job field or profession that I could use my skills into.
Mhm.
And also I think I have a thicker skin than Sally does.
I think so. I think that's also due to me being the youngest child and being baby throughout my whole life, right? I haven't been put in a lot of situations where I had to kind of fend for myself.
My mom still thinks Sally's like 12. No joke.
Uh, just putting it on the table, I'm not 12. But I get treated like, yes, I'm 12.
Because so funny story, last
Oh no, you didn't tell me the stories. I don't know what this is.
so
I'm
last
scared.
year so last year was at Sally's age is when I got married.
Oh my god,
And I
yeah.
casually mentioned that to my mom, and she's like, no, it wasn't. And I was like, I think I know when I got married. Thank you. Yes, it was. And
Yeah.
she's like, you got married so young. And I was like, you told me to get married. And I was like, excuse me. I'm feeling a little bit weird. I don't know why. And I told my mom, like,
Yeah. I realized that last year I was like, oh, because I had my birthday like during the pandemic. So I was like, oh wow, like I'm only this year old. And then I thought of them like, wait, isn't that the age that Sophia got married? And I literally like broke down because I was like, I can barely take care of myself, let alone having to live with someone and take care of them as well.
yeah.
I am not stable enough for that right now. Like mentally, like emotionally, I cannot.
Okay, to be fair, I did not go into getting married thinking that I was emotionally ready. Like, it was just what had happened. It was just right for that moment of my life path. It was just the right moment. And I asked my mom, like, if Sally said she wanted to get married now, would you let her? And my mom's like, no, are you
She's no.
crazy? She's too
Yeah.
young. And I was like, excuse me.
Yeah, yeah. So when Sophia's like attitude in life when she was like pretend that like 22 or whatever, and then me at 22, we still had that like difference in like personality and how we acted, even though we were technically like at the same age.
Yeah.
So if we compared our same age timeline, it was dramatically different of how we acted.
Well, that's true because to be fair, by the time I was 7 or 8, I had you and 3 other cousins beneath me.
Yeah, exactly.
So as the moment that you were born and then kids were born like year after year after year after that, like it kind of stopped, you know?
Yeah, because you were the only child for like what, 3 years?
3, 4 years, yeah.
3 years because I was born when you were 3.
Were you not born when I was 4?
Is it 4 or can I just not do math? No, if I'm born, just say age 0. Then
Okay,
you're 3.
sorry. I'm thinking like Korean age wise and it's like
Exactly.
confusing
No.
me. Yeah.
Yeah, like, so no matter which age we were, like, if we compared my age and her age at the same age, we would have acted different.
That's
and I didn't
true.
and to be honest, when we were in high school, I didn't like Sophia. Let me just put it out there.
Do you think I liked you? What are you talking about?
No, I say, yeah. So when, because you were applying for colleges and stuff, right?
Yeah.
Because you were older than me. And I genuinely thought, I was like, does Sophia know what she wants to do? Because I think up to that point, I've never seen you have full interest in, like, a certain, like, path. So I was genuinely worried that you wouldn't know what to do once you graduated.
Yeah, but now that you're this age, you know. No one knows. No one knows what they want at their age. I don't even know what I want at my age.
But that's the thing. When I applied for like college, I knew what I wanted to do. Like at least like the general direction. Like, is there something that led you to go into like hospitality, or was it just like a flu and then you just did it?
No, I just went into that one seminar that the school gave, the
So
university that I
seminar.
went to. I just went there and I just went in and listened. I was like, I think I need to go here, was like my first thought.
Was the seminar given like at our high school?
Yeah, it was at our high school.
Mm.
And then also, the thing is, I had kind of a pressure, not really on like how, like what university or what major I need to go. I was always told like, you need to go into a good school so your sister can go into a good school so your cousins can go into a good school. So everything that
Because you're like the pedestal. You're
Yeah.
on the pedestal, right? Because you're the oldest of everyone.
So every time I do something, it was pressured behind my back saying that you have to do well or your sister like won't do well. Like you have to
Like
be
you
the
have to
jumping
set
off
the
point.
example.
Yeah.
You have to set the example for everyone else.
So no pressure in terms of major or whatever from my mom, but I had that kind of pressure still as like
Just
the
to do
firstborn.
well.
Yeah. That it
Yeah.
didn't matter what I did, I had to do well to be an example or like the starting off point for everyone else. So I always had that kind of pressure growing up that I had to do well, which is why even though I didn't like science classes, I took them. Even though I didn't like calculus, I had to take it because I felt like I was supposed to like do something.
It's required of you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think, so I don't know if I put this in my college application essays, but they ask you, you know, like, why are you applying to whichever program that you're applying to?
Mm-hmm.
Like, for all my college applications, I select the program either biochemistry or pharmacy. Those are the two that I was interested in. Pharmacy, like, not as much, but I was interested in biochemistry because, like I said before, I was stupid, and I thought it was a combination of biology and chemistry when it's not. So the reason why I applied for biochem was I love, and I still love, watching CSI when I was younger.
Awesome.
And you know how they make...
I thought you were going to say something else.
What did you think I was going to say?
I thought you were going to say Bill Nye the Science Guy for some reason.
No, because CSI made forensic science look so cool. Like now that I know, I look at all their practices and I'm like, that's BS. Like you're gonna contaminate everything having your hair down, like not wearing lab coats, not wearing masks. You're not doing anything in fume hoods. Like nothing is like, sanitary. Um, but just because they portrayed it so like amazing, like little bits of science could prove, someone was innocent or guilty or whatever. And I was like, that is so cool. Like I want to do that kind of molecular level science.
Yeah.
Which is why, but that's the interesting thing. I fell in love with forensics because that's what they show you, in CSI or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But I never applied to forensic science. I only applied for biochem because I had this little voice in my head that's like, Sally, if you choose forensic science, you're a nerd. Like, you're a loser. Like, don't at least choose biochem so you don't look as big of a nerd as you would do in forensic science.
How is forensic science more of a nerd than biochem? I don't understand.
Because for me, I thought forensic science, you only have that one path in your career. So you're kind of stuck. But for biochem, if I wanted to do more, I could do more still because the techniques are more applied. Mm-hmm. Because forensics, they'll mostly study stuff that you can, analyze in forensics lab.
Yeah.
But in biochem labs, you don't really do that kind of science. Like, you can still do, like, genetic analysis and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But it's not focused on that, right?
Yeah.
So I thought, okay, fine, I'll do biochem because forensic science is, like, nerds. Mm-hmm. But when I went to college, they actually had this building that's like the forensic science building. It's like a small little cottage like on campus. And what I didn't realize, they made it look so cool. And I was like, wow, I kind of wish I tried this like class out just for the fun of it. But they would make mock crime scenes.
Oh.
So they would put the crime scene tape.
Yeah.
And you'd have to wear, that generic white one-piece suit so you don't contaminate anything.
Yeah.
So they would make it look like a crime scene. They would have, like, blood splatter and everything. Like, I've seen on the Snapchats of the students that made the scenes, you would literally paint yourself in red paint and get dragged to make the scene look more realistic.
Yeah.
Like, they actually made it a lot realistic. And it looked so cool. Like, you would sometimes walk by, because that building was located right beside the life science building where a lot of my classes were.
Yeah.
So I would walk by it all the time, and you'd see that little, like, crime scene tape.
Yeah.
It'd be, like, crime scene, crime scene, crime scene.
Oh, how cute.
But it looked so fun. And I was like, damn, I wish forensic classes had, like, an elective, because I would have wanted to take it for the fun of it.
Yeah.
But that was one thing that made it look really cool. But I'm still glad I took biochem because it's been applicable to kind of what I wanted to do later on. Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, everything, it works out in the end, so it's okay. Yeah. But in the end, like, both of us didn't go into paths that Mom thought we were going to go, to be fair.
No. I got the closest because I'm somewhat in science.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, you are the closest. Well, Mom didn't have anything for me, like expectations for me, so I'm okay because there wasn't one set for me anyways. But Mom was so set on you going to dentistry, I remember. Yeah.
But I think once I was constantly reminded that dentistry is you have to touch people's mouths. I think I couldn't get over that hump. Like, no matter what I tried to convince myself, I was like, no, I don't want to touch people's cheeks and tongues. And
like
touch their little teeth.
teeth.
I know. And I was like, ew, what if they, like, have lunch and they, like, don't brush their teeth? I don't want to look at that. So I was like, no, Mom, I could not do this. It's too disgusting. But yeah, like God, I sometimes see like Instagram posts of people who are in like dentistry school, and the models like where they have the fake teeth.
Yeah,
they look so creepy. It creeps me out. Like, I know people look better than the mannequins, but also the thing is you're working backwards, right? Because you're not looking at them from the front of their face. You're looking at it from upside down, so everything's flipped. Like
the angle is
on the
strange.
Yeah, the horizontal like axis, it's flipped. So I was like, damn, I can't. Like, let it alone, working under the microscope is hard enough.
Yeah.
Like, because a lot of the experiments I did was under the microscope. But, like, I don't think I could ever touch someone's mouth. Like, I can't. That's, like, the biggest turn off. Like, I love hands-on work, which is why I love lab work, but I cannot deal with people's mouths and bodies. I don't think I could do anything like that.
So I feel like this episode was more of Sally's fear rather than our jobs.
But, okay, let's be real. Do you want to touch people's mouths?
I'm not as grossed out with that kind of stuff as you are.
You can't even get your blood drawn.
It's because it's poking me. If I had the skill to poke someone else, I would
Other
do
people,
it.
it's okay.
Yeah, it's poking me. If
Wow.
I had the skill to be able to draw blood very skillfully, I would poke people.
Damn. I don't
Like-
mind getting, like, blood drawn.
Like, I don't want to be the experiment, you know?
You want to conduct the experiment.
Yeah. But, like, I don't know. My heebie-jeebies are, like, not blood or bones, I think. I'm not sure. But teeth-wise, I'm not really, like goosebumps about it.
It's just, for me, it's just that
I don't got
It's-
the brains
it's
to go.
the-
That's all.
it's the fact that, yes, you have to touch people's mouths and stuff, but you're also in very close proximity with their mouth, and that also makes me a bit uncomfortable. Like,
Oh.
let alone you don't even like being that close with someone that you know, let alone have to be that close to their mouth of a stranger. No, thank you. No.
Maybe I'm just afraid someone's gonna bite me. That's all.
That too. Like, what if they suddenly have, like, a jaw, like, their tension goes high and they, like, bite you? No.
You know, like in Finding
No, thank
Nemo, that little girl.
Oh, the piranha.
Yeah, the one that bites like
I'm a piranha from the Amazon.
Yeah, that one.
But yeah, just the heebie-jeebies of having to touch people's mouths cannot go into dentistry.
Yeah.
I don't want the pressure of being a doctor. No, thank you. Cannot be a doctor.
Yeah.
So,
So now everyone
I'm
knows.
still technically in science,
Yeah.
but just not in medicine.
If you want to scare Sally, run upside down with your mouth open. That's pretty much it.
If you could run upside down, I would genuinely be impressed. I would genuinely be impressed because not a lot of people can do that.
You would first be impressed and then you'd freak out.
And then I get scared. Exactly. I'd be like, damn, what kind of Spider-Man BS is this? And be like, oh my god, they're walking on air. And I run away.
Oh my god. It's always so funny talking about like our past
interests.
things. But it's more of, it is a stereotype, and I hate to say it, it is. Because in Asia, that kind of jobs are successful, right?
But they're successful everywhere, but those jobs specifically are put on a pedestal
Yeah,
in Asian countries.
which is why, like, there's always a stereotype of Asians being this, that. And I think nowadays it's quite gone, or it's diluted a bit, so I think that's really good. But
Yeah.
when we were growing up, it was still quite of a big thing for you to become like a doctor or like a lawyer or something like that.
Yeah. But I think also it's
But I hope...
me.
What?
I'm just saying, because of the, like, kind of the path that you and I took and all our cousins took,
Mm-hmm.
I'm the one person that went into science, too.
Pretty much,
Right? Yeah, from our family, I am the only one that pursued science. Because our cousins went into, like politics or arts, right? So...
Yeah.
And then Sophia went into kind of humanities with, hospitality and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I am technically the only one in science. And a lot of our aunts are science. Like, they
Yeah.
have degrees in science. So the proportions are kind of funny.
My brain doesn't go that way.
I love it. Science, biochem is amazing. There's still a lot of memorizing, but I just find it so fascinating. that
Mm-hmm.
like people were able to get experiments to find how stuff works on like a molecular level. Like you can't even see those without imaging.
Yeah.
And it's amazing that I think. Are your eyes okay?
I just kept rubbing my eyes, but I hope everyone enjoyed the episode about our rant about jobs that we could have gone into, but we couldn't.
Yeah. Biggest thing is I don't want to touch people's mouths.
Yes, and Sally's afraid of people biting her, so keep that in mind, people, for
Ew.
when you want to scare her.
Nasty.
Run upside down with your mouth open.
Stop. If you actually did that, I would actually be traumatized.
Yeah. But
I'm not gonna
I
lie.
hope everyone knows about our YouTube channel.
Yes, it's also called Mixing Cultures Podcast. I am slowly trying to remember to post episodes to have it catch up to the current one. But you can find everything from episode 0, which is just our self introductions, to more recent episodes now.
Yeah, so we also have our Instagram page where we post mini like sound clips of previews of episodes the day before. So make sure to check out those as well. And if you had any other questions or topics that you wanted us to cover specifically about like cultural differences, please let us know on Instagram and we'll try our best to go through with that.
All right, everyone. Thank you for listening.
Yeah, I hope everyone has a wonderful morning, afternoon, or dinner time, and we will talk to you guys next week.
Also, we are recording this on the first official day of spring, so I hope you guys enjoy the warmer weather as well for the Northern Hemisphere.
New Zealand's getting cold because I can't get up from bed because I'm super cold in the morning, but I do wake up at 5 o'clock, so it's okay. But I hope everyone has a wonderful week, and we'll talk to you guys next week.
Bye bye.
Bye!